Buckle up, America, because we're heading back into a trade war. The economic landscape is about to get a lot more turbulent, and it's all thanks to one man. That's right, Donald Trump is back, and he's brought his favorite economic weapon, tariffs. These aren't just any tariffs, they're designed to hit hard and make a statement. Remember those? They're like taxes, but on stuff we buy from other countries. When tariffs go up, so do the prices of imported goods, affecting everything from electronics to everyday household items. And Trump's not afraid to use them. He's wielding tariffs like a sledgehammer, aiming to reshape global trade dynamics in America's favor. He's proposing a whole bunch of new tariffs, and some of them are huge. We're talking about significant increases that could impact a wide range of industries. We're talking 60% on goods from China. This isn't just a minor adjustment, it's a seismic shift that could ripple through the global economy. That's going to make your next iPhone cost more than a used car. Imagine the sticker shock when everyday items suddenly become luxury goods. This isn't Trump's first rodeo with tariffs. Back in 2018, he launched a similar campaign aiming to protect American industries and jobs. He tried this back in 2018 and it didn't go so well. The trade war led to higher prices and uncertainty, leaving consumers and businesses scrambling. Sure, he talked a big game about protecting American jobs. The rhetoric was strong, but the reality was far more complicated. But all it really did was raise prices for everyone and make businesses scramble to find new suppliers. The intended protectionism often backfired, causing more harm than good. This time around, Trump says he's doing it to stop China from stealing our technology and to get Mexico and Canada to do more about immigration. These are bold claims with far-reaching implications. But some people think he's just trying to flex his muscles on the world stage. Critics argue that these moves are more about political posturing than practical solutions. Either way, one thing's for sure, get ready for a bumpy ride. The economic turbulence ahead could affect everything from your grocery bill to the stock market. Stay tuned because this trade war is just getting started. So, who's in Trump's tariff crosshairs this time? Well, pretty much everyone. The president has made it clear that his administration is taking a hard stance on trade, aiming to protect American industries and jobs, but this aggressive approach has far-reaching consequences, affecting not just foreign countries but also American consumers and businesses. He wants to slap tariffs of 10 to 20% on all imports. This means that any product coming into the United States could see a significant price hike. The goal, according to Trump, is to encourage domestic production and reduce the trade deficit. However, critics argue that these tariffs could lead to higher costs for American families and businesses, potentially sparking inflation. That means everything from clothes and shoes to cars and electronics is going to get more expensive. Imagine going to your favorite store and finding that the price of your go-to pair of jeans has gone up by 20%. Or heading to a car dealership and discovering that the cost of a new vehicle has skyrocketed. These price increases could make everyday items less affordable for the average American. But China is public enemy number one in Trump's trade war. The administration has been particularly vocal about its issues with Chinese trade practices, accusing China of unfair trade tactics and intellectual property theft. This has led to a series of escalating tariffs between the two economic giants, with no end in sight. He's proposing a whopping 60% tariff on Chinese goods, on top of the 25% tariffs he already imposed back in 2018. This could severely impact the cost of goods that are commonly imported from China, such as electronics, toys, and household items. The ripple effect could be felt across various sectors of the economy. That means a product that cost $100 to import from China before Trump's tariffs would now cost $185. This dramatic increase could force businesses to either absorb the costs, which would hurt their bottom line, or pass the costs on to consumers, making everyday items more expensive. And it's not just China. The administration's trade policies are casting a wide net, affecting multiple countries around the globe. This has led to a complex web of trade negotiations and retaliations, making the global trade environment more unpredictable. Trump is also targeting our neighbors to the north and south. Canada and Mexico, two of the United States' largest trading partners, are not exempt from these aggressive trade tactics. The administration has been pushing for new trade agreements that it claims are more favorable to American interests. He's threatened to impose a 25% tariff on all goods from Mexico and Canada if they don't do more to stop the flow of migrants and drugs across the US border. This adds another layer of complexity to the already tense trade relationships, as these countries must now balance trade negotiations with broader geopolitical issues. The impact of these tariffs could be far-reaching, affecting everything from the price of avocados to the cost of cars. The question remains, will these tactics ultimately benefit the American economy, or will they lead to higher prices and strained international relationships? Okay, so tariffs mean higher prices. But what does that actually mean for you and me? Well, for starters, get ready to shell out more cash for just about everything. We're talking about everything from groceries and gas to clothes and cars. And it's not just consumers who are going to feel the pinch. Businesses are going to be hit hard too. Tariffs mean higher costs for raw materials and components, which means lower profits. And that could lead to job losses. Remember, companies care about one thing: their bottom line. If tariffs make it more expensive to do business, they'll find ways to cut costs, and that often means laying off workers. Trump loves to talk about making deals, but his approach to tariffs is more like a bull in a china shop. He claims he has the authority to impose tariffs whenever he wants. But the truth is, it's a bit more complicated than that. See, Congress has the power to regulate international trade, including imposing tariffs. But over the years, Congress has given the president some leeway to act on his own in certain situations. For example, the president can impose tariffs if he determines that a particular country is engaging in unfair trade practices that are harming American businesses. Trump has used this power broadly, arguing that China's trade practices justify his tariffs. But many legal experts say he's stretching the limits of his authority, and they expect his latest round of tariffs to be challenged in court. Section 5, Retaliation Nation, a global trade war. Here's the thing about trade wars: they're like a game of chicken, where everyone loses. Each country tries to outdo the other, hoping the other will back down first. But in reality, no one ever really wins. Instead, both sides end up suffering significant economic damage. When one country imposes tariffs, the other country usually retaliates with tariffs of their own. This tit-for-tat strategy can quickly spiral out of control, leading to a full-blown trade war. Tariffs are essentially taxes on imported goods, making them more expensive and less attractive to consumers, and that can escalate quickly, hurting businesses and consumers on both sides. Companies may struggle to absorb the higher costs, leading to layoffs and closures. Consumers, on the other hand, face higher prices and fewer choices, which can strain household budgets and reduce overall spending. China has already indicated that it's prepared to retaliate against Trump's tariffs. The Chinese government has a history of responding strongly to economic threats, and they have a variety of tools at their disposal to counteract US measures, and they have plenty of ammunition. With a massive stockpile of goods and a robust export economy, China can afford to play the long game. They can target key American industries, making it difficult for the US to maintain its economic stability. China is a major buyer of American agricultural products like soybeans and pork. These industries are crucial to the US economy, particularly in rural areas where farming is a primary source of income. They could easily slap tariffs on those products, which would hurt American farmers who are already struggling. The agricultural sector has been facing numerous challenges, from fluctuating market prices to extreme weather conditions, and additional tariffs could be the final blow for many. Mexico and Canada could also retaliate against Trump's tariffs. Both countries are key trading partners with the United States, and any disruption in trade relations could have far-reaching consequences. Mexico is a major supplier of fruits, vegetables, and cars to the United States. These imports are essential for keeping prices low and ensuring a steady supply of goods for American consumers, and Canada is a major supplier of oil and lumber. These resources are vital for various industries in the US, from construction to energy production. Tariffs on these products would hurt American consumers and businesses. Higher costs for essential goods and materials can lead to inflation, reduced consumer spending, and ultimately, a slowdown in economic growth. In the end, trade wars create a lose-lose situation for everyone involved. Section 6. The high cost of cheap goods. Okay, so why do we even trade with China in the first place if it's such a big deal? Well, here's the thing. China makes a lot of the stuff we buy every day, and they make it cheaply. That's because labor costs are lower in China and they have fewer environmental regulations. So when we buy products made in China, we're essentially getting a discount. But that discount comes at a cost. It means accepting that Chinese workers might be paid less than American workers and that Chinese factories might be polluting the environment. Section 7. The taxman tariffeth winners and losers in the trade war. So in this whole tariff tango, who comes out on top? Well, it's not as simple as winners and losers. Some industries might benefit from tariffs in the short term. For example, American steel producers might sell more steel if tariffs make imported steel more expensive, but in the long run, tariffs are likely to hurt more than they help. Higher prices mean consumers have less money to spend on other things, which can slow down the economy. And when businesses have to pay more for raw materials and components, they're less likely to invest and create jobs. Section 8. Trump's tariff gamble. Will it pay off? Trump is betting that his tariffs will force China to make concessions on trade and intellectual property theft. He's also hoping that the threat of tariffs will be enough to get Mexico and Canada to crack down on immigration. But it's a risky gamble. China has shown no signs of backing down, and Mexico and Canada are unlikely to give in to Trump's demands, especially if it means compromising their own sovereignty. In the meantime, American consumers and businesses are left holding the bag. Section 9. Hold on to your hats, America, the tariff roller coaster is back. The bottom line is this. Trump's tariffs are like a roller coaster ride that nobody asked for. It's going to be a wild ride with lots of ups and downs. And in the end, we'll probably all be right back where we started, only poorer and more frustrated. So buckle up, America. It's going to be a bumpy ride.